Are you a business owner looking to secure your financial future and create a lasting legacy? I'm Leah Garcia, a financial strategist and insurance professional, and I specialize in guiding businesses with up to 50 employees on how to effectively protect and transfer their wealth. We break down silos with my unique approach, the Wall of Wealth. Imagine a seamless collaboration among your CPA, tax attorney, estate planner, and insurance expert, each playing their part in perfect harmony, ensuring your financial strategy is not just effective, but a true masterpiece. My passion stems from my own journey, from growing up on food stamps to dreaming of building community centers that empower others. Together, we'll craft a roadmap that not only safeguards your assets, but also nurtures generational wealth for your loved ones. Let's transform your vision into reality. After all, you can't measure the heart of a champion just by looking at them. Join me, and let's make your financial future shine.
And we are live. Welcome to this episode of Thursday to Thrive, where we talk about zero net cost benefits. I love zero net cost benefits. It is an economic relief program that allows employers with at least 25 key or valued employees to offer benefits at zero net cost to the employer and no out-of-pocket expense to their valued employees. I think that's it's an incredible program. We've all heard of other economic relief programs. There are programs for cell phones and housing and food and daycare. Well, this is an economic relief program that benefits those small business owners up to however many employees that you have. So at least if you have 25 full-time employees and you would like to offer these benefits, it's an incredible opportunity to offer medical benefits, high quality, gold standard benefits to your valued employees so that they feel that they're being rewarded, right? Our topic today is employee retention without the price tag. Employee retention without the price tag. Often the price of retaining your employees can be high. They expect higher wages. They're going to expect more benefits. They're going to expect more time off and things of that nature. And all of that can really go really deep into the business owner's pockets. Well, these zero net cost benefits don't have a price tag. The price tag is there's always a cost, right? And that price of admission is it takes a little bit of elbow grease. It's going to take some time for the enrollment, but it's not rocket science. We can walk you through the process. We'll give you that white glove service from the very start all the way until when your benefits are implemented. We will hand carry you through the process. And now you can actually retain those valued employees, because if your employees feel that they're being valued, they're getting rewarded, they have benefits they can actually use without co-pays, without deductibles, then they feel like they are being valued for who they are, the hard work that they put in, representing your company, representing your product or services, because they are the face oftentimes of your business. And they're really the backbone of this country. Small business owners, even to this day in 2025, are the backbone of this country. And we need to take care of our small business owners, our entrepreneurs, the ones that whether you just started your business or it is a family-owned business that's been around for generations, we want to be there to help you, support you by offering this incredible program that really is not known that well. It's been around for many years. However, it's still very few people even know about it. They don't even know that it's available. And I think it's an incredible topic. So we're talking about employee retention without the price tag, without that high price tag. Think about that. If you can put more money back into your pocket, what could you do as a business owner? What things could you do to expand your business? Maybe you could hire more employees. Maybe you could go ahead and have that second location, or maybe you're looking to upgrade what you have. You know, if you're in the trucking industry, maybe you need to buy more trucks. If you are a contractor, maybe you need to get more heavy machinery. You know, whatever that business is, we all could find ways to put more money back into our business if we had those dollars freed up for us. So, but today's not about me. It's about my incredible team. And I definitely want to hear from each one of them on what they'd like to share about zero net cost benefits that are zero net cost to the employer, and no out-of-pocket cost to their valued employees. And kick us off. What do you have to say about these zero net cost benefits? Go ahead and start us off, Ms. Christina.
Hello. Um, well, you said that retention. Um, when we do budgets and we plan on how many heads we are hiring, it's never just about the salary or the wage that you're paying the employee. Most companies do offer benefits, and there is a really high cost to that. So oftentimes we shop around as employers for insurances and things that are a little bit more economic and easy on our taxes and pockets, but it's not often, it is not always the best service that you can offer your employees. Or there are some, I see a lot, I see this a lot with startups and smaller companies or businesses that are just scaling with 2 to 20 employees as a workforce. What the option is having a part-time workforce where benefits do not come with the job. So the reason why we put the label retention on today's opportunity is because we are talking about a program that it's a win-win for the employer and the employee. So that's what I want to share, a win-win for the employer and the employee. For the employer, it's a tax credit. So you purchase services, but you'll get a tax credit. And for the employee, it's going to be zero net cost. So it is a huge PR campaign for retention, for recruiting, for your company, for the brand. Because in the end, who does all of your PR? It's your employees. Who talks about how happy or unhappy they are with their job. And I, for almost 20 years, I worked for several companies and for one in particular for the longest time. But one thing that I see is that no matter what's the wage of a particular employee, especially if it's minimum wage, what they're most concerned about is if they're covered for their vision, their dental, going to the doctor, what's the out-of-pocket cost, if the insurance, how much money are they paying for their medicines, $10, $20, $40. Those are the things that they're most concerned about. And I've seen so many hardworking folks, and especially older hardworking individuals that take jobs in their late 60s even, just being concerned about that and nothing else. And really caring about what does it say on my package, what's covered. And so, it's 2025. Everybody wants to thrive. A lot of people are starting businesses, scaling businesses, small businesses, leaving traditional companies. People are trying to find options that give them a little bit more flexibility. And what does that mean? It's really hard for companies to retain a competent workforce and a workforce with longevity, especially if you scroll through the ads, and I do that oftentimes. I scroll through the ads and I see 30 hours a week, 28 hours a week, W-2 or W-4 or 1099 only, all these job offers that basically imply you're kind of freelancing or you're kind of working for me on a contract, but there is not a benefit package. And the travesty is that the reason why there is not a benefit package and the reason why these positions are barely part-time, almost full-time, is because benefits are expensive. So for those of you that are listening and you're scaling and you want to hire and you're having a tough time, finding the right workforce, the right people, it's probably because it's not a full-time job with all the perks. So this is a great opportunity to offer all the perks and to improve, grow, and expand and scale your company culture.
Yeah, I love that company culture for sure. And speaking of that, if you are an employee who is going without benefits, your employer is not offering those benefits. If you make that introduction to us and your employer elects to go forward, we're offering a $250 bonus to you as that employee for that introduction. So wherever you're joining us, if you're on Facebook, come and connect with us on LinkedIn. If you're on YouTube, you found us on YouTube, come and connect with us over on LinkedIn. That's really our home. But we want to know where you're tuning in from. Are you watching this live or are you on the replay? If you're on Team Replay, we love you. We appreciate you. So absolutely, Christina, you are so on point. I love that. And so next up, I'm going to hand it over to Miss Sharon. Take it away, Miss Sharon.
Well, thank you, Leah. I wanted to piggyback on something that Christina said, that, there's a lot of employers who aren't offering benefits because they're expensive. And I experienced this myself. What I'm about to say is that they kept me part-time, but even as a part-timer, you could get benefits, but only if you were at 30 hours or more a week. So they literally kept me at 28 on purpose. They didn't hire me full-time and they didn't give me, part-time with enough hours for the benefits as well. And I actually went on another job interview and they said, you're overqualified for this job. And I said, look, I'm a working mom. I need the salary, yes, but I need the medical benefits more. So I can take a little bit of a pay cut. It's okay, I'll manage. And I didn't get the job. And they literally said to me, I called HR to see, to get some feedback and say, what can I do in the future, on future interviews with other companies or, whatever. And they said, you were just overqualified and we didn't believe you that you would stick around with our company just because we were offering you a good benefit package. We thought you were going to use this as a stepping stone. And I was dead serious. I would have stayed just to know I had the security of medical benefits, but they didn't want to believe me. And the other thing I think I love about these benefits, and I'll say this really quickly, there's so many things I love about these benefits, but one of the things I really love about these benefits is that you have access to telehealth 24/7, and you can use it unlimited amount of times for you and your family. It does not have a limit on the amount of telehealth appointments that you can make. So those two things are I wanted to make the point about, or piggyback on a point about, Christina saying that, it's too expensive. It's even too expensive for them to offer it on a part-time basis. And they will keep you just under. And with zero net cord benefits, you don't have to be kept just under, because there is a benefit to the employer and to the employee, with no out-of-pocket expenses for the employee and for, savings in the business for the business owner. It's a win-win. And in terms of employee retention, if you offer good benefits and strong benefits, it takes away a lot of the concern for people about their own health and their family's health and life insurance, but the family's health and everything. And that's a big concern for families, is the healthcare and access to it. So if you want to retain your employees, you can't go wrong with offering, comprehensive medical benefits. And that's what I wanted to add.
This actually happened to me. Managing a team, my part-timers happen to be the best workers, and I was like, where are you going? Why aren't you here more than a couple of days a week, right? I was like, oh, my other job has full benefit. My other job, has this program that offers me zero net cost. They actually talked about zero net cost, and it happened to be that the other job was a government job that had something very similar to what we are offering.
Right. That's cool. Tim, what do you want to say about zero net cost benefits and employee retention?
Thanks, Sharon. What I wanted to say was just how much I wish I'd known about this sooner, because of all the benefits. It would have really helped out the past places that I used to work at. One of the big things at one of my jobs was that we had really good healthcare, but it was expensive. Like, it was a huge chunk taken out of our checks every single month. And knowing that the money was going out of our checks, but we could have been using it more wisely, or would have really helped us out and helped us, one, bring on more employees and keep employees, and brought down our turnover, because we wouldn't have this giant chunk of our paychecks going out every month for healthcare. So it's really great to know about these, and really can't wait to spread these around and help people out to connect them with it.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. I appreciate what you're saying. Hi, Lisa. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, it's really a win-win for both the employee and the employer. And what Christina, you said about employee culture and workplace culture, it's really important that I feel it's really important that we start bringing back caring about the whole person. And when we can take some of the weight off people's shoulders, where they don't have to have the concern about, am I going to be covered for this? How much is it going to cost me? What is it going to mean? Am I going to have to take an extra job just to compensate for the amount of money that's being taken out of my check for medical benefits that I can't go without, but yet I can't survive on the pay that's left? So am I going to have to take a second job or work extra shifts? That's a big deal to a lot of people, and rightfully so. So yeah. Do either one of you have anything else that you want to add about what would you say is another thing that you both like about the zero net cost benefits? Tim?
Again, it's just I really wish I'd known about these sooner. Like, I cannot stress that enough. And it's really look forward to letting people know about this. So if anyone has companies with 20 or more employees, should let us know so we can help spread the word.
Christina?
Yes, and you said that creating an holistic workplace where we care about the whole person. The beautiful thing about our team here is that we are entrepreneurs, but we also held or are holding jobs, and we've been around the block for a little bit. So we held several positions in our lifetimes, from entry level all the way to management. And so I personally know what it felt like not too long ago. I think it was 2000. In 2013, I had a minimum wage job, and it was my first job here in the US. And I was so proud of my little red apron, because it was in a thrift store, a thrift town. Then it closed here in the Bay Area, but I was so proud of it because it meant so many things. I had gone a year without a dentist. I needed new glasses. So when I got the job, it meant the world to me. Like, I got my benefits, I booked my appointments, and I felt like, when you can take care of your business, meaning your personal business, your own self, you feel like a complete person that is taking care of business. That's what a job does when we decide to be employed, right? To work for somebody, that's what a job does. You're doing it because you're taking care of yourself and you're taking care of business.
Yeah, and I think I just want to add to that too, that when you're able to take care of your own needs, it's not selfish the way our society sometimes makes us feel like if we take care of ourselves, we're being selfish. But the truth is, when we take care of ourselves, we're able to show up better and more efficiently and with more energy for the people around us. And that means family. That means being more productive. Hi, Noni. That means being more productive for our employees or in our own businesses, and being able to be fully there and present in any role that we hold. So, yeah, no, you make a very valid point, And I think it's really important that we take care of the whole person, including the mental health side as well. And that's something that these benefits give people access to, is behavioral health, preventative health, and there's 800 prescription drugs that are covered completely. And these are very popular medications. They're 800 of the most popular medications that are covered under these plans. So we are coming close to near the end. We're not at the end yet. And I just want to say hello to Nicole and everybody else who's out there live. And if you're on Team Replay, we appreciate you. And I just wanted to give each one of us, including Leah, if you're able, to maybe share one parting thought that you have around, the zero net cost benefits, or, how much you think these benefits can help others. And maybe before you put in your final thought, here's one thing that I love to do when I have rooms and things. I would like for each one of us to say a quote that, or it could be a music lyric that really means something to you, and tell us, why this quote touches you the way it does. Christina, do you want to start?
It caught me off guard, but one that I always remember is that nothing wrong with shooting for the moon because you might hit a star, right? And so basically means try, give it a stab, be curious, ask, right? Find out if something piques your interest, just go, make that call, connect, call the person, make the phone call. Here on LinkedIn, we are now a LinkedIn family. Do your first post, your second post, start the newsletter, just start. Because, you never know what happens.
I love that, Christina. I really do. I have many favorite quotes, actually, but that is one of my favorite quotes as well. So, Tim, how about you? Do you have a favorite quote?
I think I'm going to repeat myself from a couple weeks ago, and it was the Chris Rock one where it's you need to have insurance because we're all going to die, but at least with insurance, you can die on a mattress.
I got to tell you, I've been laughing about that quote ever since you said it. And I'm glad you repeated it tonight because I was trying to remember how it went, and I've been meaning to ask you, but now I don't have to ask you. Leah, are you able to
Let's see.
unmute?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I love this. I absolutely love this. I love quotes. And one of my favorite all-time quotes is, you cannot measure the heart of a champion just by looking at them. And each one of you are champions. I am so proud of all of you, Christina, Tim, and Sharon. You definitely have the heart of a champion. And I think so many times people look at who we are physically on the exterior, and they make all kinds of assumptions, and they make all kinds of judgments, and they kind of assess us, and they think they know who we are, but they don't know the heart that we have inside us. When I was that little girl growing up on food stamps and welfare, on the wrong side of the tracks in some people's minds, I always had a desire to do something great, but people couldn't see that. I was just a scrawny little kid, just another little kid growing up in the east side of San Jose. And I think all of us have that in us. In fact, I don't think I know. Each one of us has. We all have another level. And so that's why I love that quote, because I know that people overlooked me many times. People thought, whatever they thought, that, you're just going to be like the rest of your family and continue that, generational poverty. So I absolutely love that. That's a great addition, Sharon. I love that. So thank you so much for your help.
No problem. It's my pleasure. And so, as I said, I have many favorite quotes, but one of my absolute favorite quotes is by a New York Ranger hockey player, Wayne Gretzky. And he said that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So what that means, and I know most of us probably can figure it out, but I'm just going to say it right here, is if you're scared about trying something, do it anyway, because you might surprise yourself and make the shot and get to where you want to go. But if you never try and you never attempt to take the shot, you're obviously not going to make it because you never attempted to take it. So really, what do you have to lose if you take the shot? Nothing. And if you miss, doesn't mean you can't try again. So I encourage everybody to take every shot that feels aligned with their dreams, desires, and your heart and soul, because you'll have more regrets if you don't attempt to take the shot than if you don't attempt to take the shot, you'll have more regrets than if you actually take the shot. Because if you miss, the chances are you won't miss, but even if you do miss, there's gifts at the end of that trial and error too. You'll find aspects within yourself that you never knew existed, and you may come up into another opportunity that you would have never had if you didn't attempt to take the shot and miss. That's happened to me many times in my life. I thought, oh, well, I tried and I missed, but it actually led me down a different road to something greater that I didn't even know. So I wanted to, before we end for tonight, I just want to remind everybody that if you are an employer with 20 or more full-time employees, and you would like to either have benefits for your employees or enhance the benefits you are giving your employees, reach out to any one of us on the team. We'd be happy to help you and get you connected with getting the process started. And if you are an employee who is going without benefits or feels that you want your benefits to be enhanced, like Leah said earlier, just as a reminder, if you're an employee that refers us to your employer and they sign on, you will get a $250 referral fee. So again, it's just another example of how this is a win-win situation. Christina or Tim, do you have anything you want to add before we end for the evening?
Yeah, so these are corporate style benefits. So they're not, cheaper benefits, lower grade benefits. They are corporate style benefits. And if you're an employer, you already have your company that you do business with. You don't have to drop that. You can get this in addition to that, and it's still a tax credit. So that's what I wanted to say. And again, we meet really briefly on Thursdays here, and to talk about what is that we're working on and this particular program. But yes, please reach out to any of us. We'll be able to share, we will share more information with you and we can go into details.
Thank you, Christina. Tim, do you have anything you want to add before we go?
Just, reach out to us and we can get started. And these are absolutely amazing. So hit us up.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for joining us this evening. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to anybody on the team. We're here to help you, and you can definitely have white glove service and white glove benefits in a skilled labor environment. So don't hesitate to reach out to us. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Bye, guys.
Hey there, I'm Leah Garcia. Have you ever wanted a career where you truly make a difference in people's lives? I'm building a team of driven financial and insurance professionals, people who want to help families and businesses protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth with confidence. If you're passionate about guiding others to achieve financial security, then you're exactly who I'm looking for. Join my supportive, growth-oriented environment and unlock your full potential. Ready to take the next step? Visit leahgarcia.io and let's start building your future together.